Good afternoon. How far would you go to live your entrepreneurial dream? Welcome to Small Business Matters, where we talk about all things small business. We talk about the entrepreneurs, we get to know them, those people that make these businesses go and grow. As always, we thank Community News for this forum. And today we have somebody who literally went halfway around the world before he landed here in Miami. David Isea, thank you for coming on the show. Really appreciate it.
Hi, Carlos. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Very, very good.
Yeah, and very busy, right?
So busy, but I mean, first of all, thank you very much for this opportunity to having me here. For me, it's a pleasure. You create a very nice atmosphere, and thank you so much for
Yeah.
this opportunity.
And thanks really to Community News for this atmosphere. This is not my studio, but anyway, it's incredible that, just before we started the show, we were talking to each other about how busy we both are. And it seems like every small business I talk to is very busy.
Well, Carlos, from my point of view, I mean, I had the opportunity to work for a big corporation, and everything you got in a structure, a procedure, you got many resources. But when you are leading a small business, you got to do many things by your own. Even though you got you collaborators, you got you people working for you, in somehow you have to take the lead, and this ones take a lot energy and time.
Okay. So I told the audience that you took kind of a long route to get to Miami. You have to tell the story because you didn't start off as an entrepreneur. You just alluded to the fact that you worked for a large corporation. So tell us a little bit about your time there, how you ended up halfway around the world, what your background is all about.
Look, basically, I mean,
Where are you from, first of all?
Well, I was born in Venezuela.
Okay.
And I got my college degree as an electronic engineer. And then it was a dream for me to work for a big industry. So I started my career in the cement industry. Like 23 years ago, I was a supervisor. Then I was a manager, and then I became a plant manager, and then I become a technical director. So I had the opportunity to make a very nice career in one of the best player or top players in the cement industry worldwide. However, when you are working for a big corporation for a long, long time, there is the time that the corporation doesn't need you anymore. So I was traveling around, as you said. I had been living in Colombia, Venezuela, Azerbaijan, and
Azerbaijan,
yes,
halfway around the world.
yeah. I mean, the Azerbaijan was a very nice experience for me. I learned a lot for another culture, and it wasn't even not only for me, for my family. It was so rich to have such experience in this part of the world. But after Azerbaijan, I came to Argentina. In Argentina, I spent 5 years. Also, it was quite challenged because of the dynamic of the economy there. I mean, every single day is a challenge in Argentina because you don't know what to expect. Political influence is huge, and then, as you know, I mean, you don't know how to predict. So you need to prepare and to be ready for changes. But after Argentina, my oldest son, Victor, said that, Daddy, I don't want to live anymore in Argentina. I would like to go to United States to study there. The contract in Argentina was almost gone, ready. So after the contract finished, I decided to why not to try in United States. I mean, United States, everything is technology wise, business wise, is one of the best market to be. So I started to look for a business. It was not easy for me because even though I got the capabilities and knowledge from corporate, to work as an entrepreneur is a completely different story. When I was looking at business, I met a professional guy named Enrique Yunes. He was the owner of the franchise that I own right now. The guy
Which is Cartridge World?
Exactly. What is Cartridge World? The guy was a professional. And he was running the business for more than 10 years. So this business was the kind of business that I was looking for because of the service. it was not only the products. I mean, many businesses are offering products, but this business in particular was offering a solution for a small business. So I realized that if I would like to be in a business where I can have business to business relation, this franchise was the right one to choose.
Okay, so this is very interesting to me because your whole life had been about cement, right? So when you came here, were you tired of cement? Did you think about a cement business or no?
Well, it was quite an internal conflict with me. Well, I mean, I got in one hand to look for another job and to be part of another corporation or to be my own boss. So when I was looking to buy a business, I got an opportunity to be part of Profit Inc. I was introduced in the Profit Inc. group. And for me, I really admire the people who own a business. I mean, it's another dynamic, it's another kind of energy. And then I was wondering, why not? Let's try. I mean, why should I work for somebody else with my energy and my capabilities? Why don't use this energy and capability to do something by myself? So it was some kind of huge decision in the family. When I come here, I was dreaming, okay, why not cement industry one more time? But then I realized, no, it's not the way to go. That is the right time to be my own boss and to have my own company. So this one was the decision that I made.
Okay, so I want to go back to Azerbaijan and Argentina. I think it's almost funny that you said, Azerbaijan was a great experience, and I would think you didn't know the language, I imagine.
No.
Didn't know much about the culture before you got there. Argentina, at least you speak the language. You probably knew something about the culture. Yet in Azerbaijan, you said it was almost, I mean, the way you talked, it was almost like paradise or at least a great experience. And then Argentina was not. What was the big difference there?
I mean, in Azerbaijan, what I realized that you got to, I mean, at the end of the day, when you don't know a new culture, you got so much fears about how to interact, how to working together with somebody else. But at the end of the day, as soon as you provide the right tools, you motivate the people. Every single people that I met wants to be part of something great, to contribute with something. Of course, salary and recognition, rewarding, this is good. But at the end of the day, as soon as somebody link what are you doing in order to achieve something and then giving them the opportunity to be part of is great. So this one was some kind of dream because when you are working in your own country, I mean, where are you from with your own language? I mean, you don't feel this, but when you are in a different environment, I mean, when you got it to make an effort because you need to learn the language and because you need to learn more or less the custom there. I mean, it's a great. I mean, for me, it was great because of the experience that I learned and the people that I met there.
So you were there 5 years?
5 years.
Wow. And how did your family react to this?
Well, we were lucky because the expat community there was some kind of huge.
Okay.
So, especially for my wife, she got some kind of support group to for the daily, routines and so on. However, she learned how to manage in Russian because the Azerbaijani is the official language there, but the Russian because of the Soviet Union when they were a part of the Soviet Union,
Right.
It was the language that everybody was speaking. So my wife learned how to speak Russian, and she learned how to manage the daily activity at the supermarket with the lady who was helping us at home and so on. I mean, it was great. It was great.
So does she still speak Russian?
Yeah,
Did you learn Russian or no?
a little bit.
Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Very interesting. There's a significant Russian community here.
Yeah, it's funny because when you go, especially to South Beach and Hallandale,
Right.
I mean, you can listen, Spasiba, Balshoy, and so on. I mean, you can listen to people there.
So you got here and you put in your mind, I want to be my own boss. You've said that a couple of times. I like to think as, having my own business that really you're never your own boss because your clients
That's
turn out
right.
to be your bosses.
That's
You have
right.
to answer to them. But anyway, how did you, because you could have done anything. So, and you met Enrique, I understand that. How did you choose this business over other ones?
Because when I was looking the business, the first thing that I decided which business I don't want to have.
Okay.
I mean, if you ask me for a restaurant, I don't feel with the capability to run a restaurant. If you
Okay.
ask me for a gym, spa, tax, accounting, I mean, there are plenty of business that I don't feel comfortable to run. But when I saw this business, it was a technology part because I mean, printing environment needs to you need to understand the technology behind this, and then it was a customer service. It was no business to customer. It was a business to business structure. So for me, it was the perfect combination in order to start something, because in this field, I was feeling much more comfortable.
Okay. Why did you go the franchise route instead of saying, I'm going to start from scratch and have my own printing business?
Well, based on my research, to buy a already established business wasn't a very good idea because of the cash flow. And somehow you are not starting from zero, because even though you need a little bit more capital, you start selling from the day one.
Okay.
So, and then the prestige and reputation of the business was good, and you can build up based on that. So for me, the best way to go based on my research was to buy already established business because of the cash flow, and it was much more easy to run from the day one.
Okay. Great analogy. I should say, great analysis. So you still have the option to buy an existing business that's not a franchise. What do you see are the advantages of buying a franchise?
The advantage of buy a franchise was basically it wasn't a structure behind this. It was already a procedure and a system. And because I was coming from corporate, I was used to work with this. What is the way to go? What is the advertising strategy? What is the way to establish the store and so on? It wasn't a structure behind this, because I didn't have any experience with it. As an entrepreneur, for me, it was a little bit difficult to imagine how to establish all of these elements in order to ensure that you're gonna be success.
Okay. Does your family work with you?
Yes, but actually, when I said I'm my own boss, I was lying. As you said, my wife is the manager of the store, and she's leading the customer service, account receivables. She's leading everything in regard of the stock, inventory, and so on. I'm more in on the technical side. I'm with the end users when we got a special account.
Okay. What would you consider a special account?
When somebody has more than 5 printers and is consuming at least per year something around 50,000 pages.
Okay. So I would probably be your worst consumer because I don't print hardly anything, even though I have been your customer. But what is the outlook for your kind of industry? Because it seems like every day, and I may be wrong, I'm judging by the little that I know. Maybe people are printing less, more they're storing in whether it's on the cloud or in hard drives or whatever it may be. What is the outlook?
Look, Carlos, you are completely right. I mean, there is a reality. We are facing a digital transformation right now, and we are printing less. However, when we are looking at the small business structure, you cannot imagine how many small business are rely on their own printers. I mean, they cannot survive without a printer. Um, Based on a study done by a huge corporation called Lexmark, they found out that at least 60% of the small businesses in the United States are relying on printers. So I got an example like automotive repair shop, I got a small medical centers, I got it tax and accounting offices. I mean, you cannot imagine how many paper they need. I mean, how many pages per day they are printing. There is an average, more or less, that a small business is printing at least 150 pages per day. So it's not huge compared to the past, but then what is the opportunity behind this? Because it's not only to print the pages. People need service. As a small business owner, you don't have the time to deal with a printer.
Right.
you need
Absolutely not.
You need a paper right away. You need it now. And then, because of the technology, this one is our value proposition to offer a service. If you need to solve your printer issues, I mean, your pain points, we are there to provide the solution for that. So basically, our value proposition is the following. If you are a small business, we come out, we make an assessment, we prepare a proposal for you, and we can choose what is the printer that is going to fit with your needs. And then you pay just for the supplies. Simple like that. On the top of this, you got services like if you gotta set up the printer, you need to set up a new printer. If you got a problem with the connection of the printer, if you have a mechanical issue or any
Inside the printer itself,
it's gonna be fixed by us for free.
for free.
Yeah. Because everything at the end of the day, what we try to do is an overall service. You buy the supply from us, and we provide peace of mind in regard of your printing environment.
Okay. So we're living also in an age of you can rent everything, you can lease everything, you can buy if you want to. How does that mix fall into place in your business?
Look, basically, there is an idea that, I need to list something. Yeah, this is no bad idea, but it's depending how many pages are you printing per year. Because if you list something, and then of the day you are paying for something that you don't need a lot. In the past, was a great idea to list a huge copier. Yeah, because you are printing a lot. But when you don't need to print too much, from my point of view, it doesn't make sense to spend money that you don't need. So our value proposition is much more straightforward. You pay for what you really need. So if you need to print 50,000 pages per year, we're going to provide the right printer to fulfill these needs, and you need just to pay for the supplies. Our supplies, what we try to do is to offer a quality that is even similar to the original product, the OEM product, but at least for 30 to 40% less. And then you got the service behind this.
Okay, so let me make sure I understand. So basically, you're giving printers away and for free,
Yeah.
and then they enter into a contract with you for the supplies, which is ink, paper, etc.
I will not call it as a contract. I will call it as an agreement.
Okay.
So basically, it's an agreement that I promise to supply the right cartridge with the right quality on time, and your printer is gonna run without problem. As soon as there is an issue, we need to take care about this and fix it. So this was our value proposition, as you said. We offer the printer for free, and you need just to pay for the supplies.
Okay, that seems like a great deal. What kind of team do you need to, for example, something goes wrong, have somebody out, and what does fast mean? If my printer breaks down, how fast does somebody usually go out?
I mean, if you bring, let's have an example. You bring breakdown right now, you're gonna have somebody in the less than 2 hours in order to fix it, or we need to replace the printer.
Okay, and that would be free also? You would just swap it out?
Yep.
Wow. And how many employees total do you have right
We
now?
got a total of, right now we got 4 employees.
Okay.
One of the 2 technicians and 1 driver that is taking care of the deliveries and the daily deliveries.
Okay. Now that you admitted that you're not the boss, what is your role in the company? I know you said technical issues, but does that go as far as, hooking the printer up to a network, or do you have to work with an IT company? How does that
Yes,
usually work?
when the problem is a little bit complicated, we got a partnership with an IT company
Okay.
called Function. If something is really complicated, we are supporting with them in order to solve that issue.
Okay. Function, who's another member of Profit Inc.
Exactly. But if there is something simple, but we are talking about a really important account, I'm taking care of myself. I go myself in order to assess what is the issue and then provide a solution right away.
So what type of businesses need, more than one printer, 4, 5, 6 printers?
Look, we got a titles companies.
Title, okay.
Yeah, we're a huge title company who has from us at least 10 printers.
Okay.
Dental centers. I mean, we got it a very nice customer who has at least 10 printers with us. We got it hotels. We
Okay.
got a very nice hotel in Miami Beach and in Brickell. So they have each of them, more than 15 printers with us. So
Wow.
this one is an example.
Okay. What is your outlook for the future for your business? Is it, for example, are you thinking of something else, something to add to the business, something to take away from the business?
No, what are we looking, and we are exploring the proposal to offer document management. Because
What does that mean?
What that mean in order to save money, because basically it's about to save money and don't print too much, and to help you to organize yourself. We are offering, we're exploring to offer a tool called document management, because it's going to be some kind of digitalization of your document, but it's going to be at the cloud, but with a special software that is going to help you to identify where are the documents and so on. And then when you need it to print something, you know from where to take it, and it's going to provide a mobility. I mean, you can do it from anywhere if you're working from home, from the office. So we are working on this solution in order to provide some kind of such services to our customers.
Okay, that's really interesting. I think that's something that businesses definitely need. Managing documents, even for my small business, it's a little, I'll admit it's a little bit of a challenge. It's finding documents sometimes, but that's really interesting. How do you get new clients? I always like to ask that question. Everybody does it a little bit differently. And to me, anyway, that's the lifeblood of a company, because if you're not getting new customers consistently, it's a numbers game, because you're going to always lose some clients along the way. So you want to get more clients than you lose, and that way grow your business. So how do you go about getting new clients?
Basically, we got two sources.
Okay.
The first source is just to ask our existing customer for referrals. I mean, this one is our first source. And then because if a customer is happy with our service and so on, he recommend us to somebody else. I mean, this one is one of the first source. And the second source that we have established a service for fingerprints.
Okay.
So now it's getting so popular, this digital fingerprint services and so on for background check and this kind of thing. So this one is creating some kind of traffic to the store that is located on the Bird Road.
Go ahead and tell, where exactly is your store? You can give them the address.
Our address is 6785 Bird Road, Miami, Florida, 33155.
Okay. And what's your phone number, just in case I have to get in touch?
305-856-3434.
Okay.
So as I said, basically this one is the second. So this one is creating a daily traffic to the store where we have the opportunity to show what we are doing in order to look for opportunities.
Yeah, that's interesting, because before the fingerprint service, how often would people go into your store to buy ink cartridges or anything?
No, few, so few. So it was no.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's not how the business was established anyway.
No. Yeah, and this one was not the idea.
Okay. All right. So have you had to make changes inside your store to accommodate people coming in?
Yes, we did.
What did you have to do?
No, basically, to define the area for the fingerprint process. This was of the issue, and the parking lot and so on, to identify the parking lots and this kind of thing. but it was not huge. But we need to make we prepare a lobby area because if there is somebody taking the appointment right away or doing the process, somebody has to wait. So we prepare a lobby area for the people who's gonna wait for the fingerprint process.
Wow. That's really interesting how, and did that happen did you plan for this business or it kind of just happened?
I don't know, but we were lucky because we got a very good review in Google. I mean, very nice number of very good reviews. So I was approached by the Field Print. This was the company who's providing the platform for the fingerprint
Okay.
process. So we were approached by then, and it was no brainer. I mean, it was a very good idea to create traffic, and we took it.
That's great. You just mentioned something that is near and dear to my heart, reviews. How do you get reviews, first of all, besides just doing a great job? Do you actually solicit them, and what is it meant for Cartridge World?
Look, it meant a lot. I mean, I'm fully with you. I will say in this environment, reviews are so important because they are the first thing that somebody's gonna check in terms of looking for a product, service, and so on. So the idea came from one of our employees. What she did was to prepare a QR, very nice QR. She printed, she put it near to the front desk, and then as soon as somebody coming to the store or making a phone call or whatever, she tried to get the feedback. She said, "Look, we appreciate doing business with you. We need to feedback in order to improve our internal processes. Would you like to give us a review?" and so on. So she's doing constantly. This one is a great idea from her, and this one has been a very good way to get feedback from the customer. We got a very good review. Also, we got something that we need to improve, and it's not everything is perfect. But
Right.
but by this way, it give us the opportunity to improve our internal processes.
That's great. I'm really happy for you. I know that you do a great job. So, what other marketing support are you getting from Cartridge World? What are some of the things they do for marketing?
Well, actually, we got it from then the web page. So the web page got us on a very nice instruction with all of these regulation and so on. And then we are receiving the lead from them as well. If somebody go to the web page and is nearby the area, we are receiving a lead from them in order to propose what are looking for and to propose a solution from them.
And how often do those leads come in?
At least I will say 2, 3 per days.
Wow, that's really good.
Yeah, this is good.
That's not bad at all.
No, it's not bad. I mean, now look, I will say, Carlos, after the pandemic, people learn how to research and to search and to investigate through the web. And
Right.
and this one is unbelievable how often people is asking for prices or services or just to understand what they can do with the in this case with the printer in case of it's broken or needs service.
You know, you mentioned the importance of reviews. We all know that they're very important. And it's really a basic part of your digital marketing foundation. You're mentioning people also going online and researching. You know, the data shows that over 90%, I think it's something like 95% of people will go online to research products before they make a purchase, whether it's a product or a service. And the reviews and your website, which you mentioned also, are the two foundational pieces of your marketing, because what happens is, let's say you hand somebody your business card. They're not even researching online. Let me check out Cartridge World. Let me check out David, and they're going to see your website and they're going to see your reviews. So you want to get that right first, and then you can do some other things. But definitely you got to get that right.
Yeah, you are completely right, Carlos, because it's the first impression that it's gonna get from you. I mean, reviews and how it looks like your web
Yeah.
page.
So what are your plans now, David? Any big plans for Cartridge World or outside of Cartridge World? You're now officially an entrepreneur. You've done this for several years now.
Well,
What do you have in mind?
I mean, first of all, in regard of Cartridge World, what we planning is to make a lean process. I mean, I believe even though there is a small company, I will say we're still having so many processes that they have to be, analyzed and to make it simple and lean. So this one is a project that we are running right now internally. And then personally, I have invested in another areas, especially in the automotive group.
Okay.
I got a two more business partners that we have explored the possibility to open a new store. But this one is another business model.
We'll have to have them on the show.
For sure,
And you could come back too with your two partners.
Exactly. No, but this one is, I mean, again, but the basis is services. I mean, there is, from my point of view, a huge opportunity here in Miami for service. You cannot imagine how many complaints I'm receiving for the people. Oh, I went to this store, I went to there is no service. I mean, no. I mean, if you are doing something with the passion that you can offer a solution, you cannot imagine. I mean, you got it 50% of the success, in sure.
I think your instincts are right on the money, because the other day I read an article that Miami is the unfriendliest city in the United States. So I think you hit the nail on the head there.
Carlos, I mean, from my own experience, as soon as you go for a restaurant or you go to an office, a really nice smile. I mean, asking, good morning, how can I help you? You cannot imagine how many open and opportunities you can get. It's unbelievable. For sure, there are strong companies that looks like they don't care. But it's a matter of time, Carlos, believe me. As soon as somebody identify this niche of market that is not satisfied with the right customer service, they're gonna get it. They're gonna get it. And this one is the way to go from my point of view.
Excellent. David, believe it or not, we're out of time.
Yeah.
Tell everybody one more time how they can reach you.
Okay. We are located on the Bear Road, 6785 Bear Road, Miami, Florida, 33155. We are next to the auto repair shop, Miller 40. Our phone number is 305-856-3434. And we are more than welcome to offer our opinion and assessment in terms of your printing environment.
Thank you, David. And all of you out there, make sure, small business owners, listen to David's advice. Get your reviews right, get your website right, and treat people with a smile. Thanks for being